I have children with two women I love. How to make this work? This may get a little long, so I apologize in advance. I'm a 34M, and I find myself in a situation that feels both unique and daunting. My wife, who is 32, and my girlfriend, 25, are both significant parts of my life, and I'm trying to figure out how to make this work for all of us. I've been married to my wife for 5.5 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son. Our life together has been mostly wonderful, filled with love and laughter. However, a couple of years ago, my wife faced some health issues after the birth of our son. During that challenging time, she encouraged me to seek out a friend with benefits arrangement, which is how I met my girlfriend. Initially, we aimed to keep things casual, but as often happens, feelings got involved. I fell in love with my girlfriend. About 6 months into our relationship, my girlfriend found herself in a tough housing situation, and I offered her a room in our home. My wife's health had improved, but my feelings for my girlfriend didn't fade. Though my wife agreed to let my girlfriend stay, she wanted me to end my relationship with her. We tried to cut ties, but ultimately failed. Then things got complicated. My girlfriend became pregnant and wanted to keep the baby. When I told my wife, she was heartbroken, feeling I had betrayed her trust. After a lot of discussions and tears, my wife decided to let my girlfriend stay with us. We slowly found a routine that worked, but it was anything but perfect. My girlfriend eventually gave birth to twins, who are now 6 months old, and both my wife and I love those boys dearly. They are, without a doubt, part of our family. However, I'm caught in the middle of two amazing women whom I love deeply, and I can't imagine giving. While we all get along reasonably well, we often face significant issues that threaten our dynamic. Here are some of the major challenges we encounter. Jealousy and intimacy. This is a huge one. My wife feels she has a stronger claim on my time and affection because we're legally married, which creates resentment in my girlfriend. There are moments when my girlfriend does things that irk my wife, sometimes out of frustration or simply wanting to assert her place in my life. My girlfriend has a slightly higher libido, which means I spend more intimate time with her, but I make sure to keep things balanced. Despite my commitment to both, there's never been any sexual attraction between my wife and girlfriend, which complicates matters further. Public perception. Another challenging aspect is the need to keep my girlfriend and our twins somewhat under wraps. I love my girlfriend and the twins, but we can't freely express that love in public. It's a heavy burden to carry, feeling like I'm hiding a part of my life. Family dynamics. Both women are fantastic mothers and genuinely love all the children as their own. They manage to work together when it comes to parenting, but jealousy sometimes creeps in. My wife's family has made snide comments about my situation, and my reputation has taken a hit because of it. The pressure from both families is palpable, and it's hard to navigate. I'm the sole breadwinner, running my own business, and bringing in between $200,000 and $300,000 a year. My wife hasn't worked for a while, and with the twins being so young, my girlfriend struggles to find work. Thankfully, we're managing financially. For kids are expensive, but we're not in dire straits. However, my wife is pushing for another baby, which adds another layer of concern for me. I'm terrified that all of this is going to implode. Most marriages don't last, and while I want this to work, I'm unsure of how to proceed. I doubt anyone has been in a situation quite like mine, but I'm reaching out for advice. I've tried looking for guidance from people in open relationships, but ours isn't precisely that. My wife and girlfriend aren't seeing anyone else, and I'm committed to both of them. I never intended for my life to evolve this way. It's all been a learning experience as I navigate this unconventional family dynamic. Any insights or advice on how to keep this relationship healthy and happy would be invaluable. I truly care about both my wife and girlfriend, and I want to find a way to make this work for all of us and our children. Update. My daughter was told a distorted version of our living situation and won't talk to me. I'm back to share how things have been evolving in my life. I posted here 12 years ago about my unique situation. I, 46M, live with my wife, Molly, 44F, and my girlfriend, now second wife, Ashley, 37F. At the time, we had 4 kids, and now we've expanded to 6. Our children are Mackenzie, 16F, Asher, 14M, and Dylan, 11M, with Molly, and Matt, 12M, Eric, 12M, and Sophie, 10F, with Ashley. When I first shared my situation, I received a mix of good and bad advice, which has helped shape how we handle our relationships. We sat down and had deep discussions about our dynamic, establishing that we have two closed relationships between myself and each woman, and any relationships outside of that would be considered cheating. It was a long journey, but we've managed to find a balance that works for us. I inherited a business from my father and worked tirelessly to support my family. Balancing the needs of 6 kids and 2 stay-at-home moms wasn't easy, leading to long hours. But I took my responsibilities seriously. When COVID hit, I grew frustrated with people not wanting to work, so when I had the chance to sell my business, I jumped at it. I'd managed to increase its value by 15% since inheriting it, which I'm proud of. Selling allowed me to pay off our house, cover all our renovations, fund the kids' education, and invest in index funds for future dividends. I even started a small consulting firm to share my business knowledge, but the current economy hasn't been kind to it. Recently, I wanted to become more involved with my kids, but my oldest daughter, Mackenzie, has been particularly distant. 6 months ago, she asked Molly about our living situation and how it began. Molly, perhaps without realizing the full impact, told her the whole story, detailing how I was allowed to pursue a friend with benefits while she recovered from a health issue. This version made me look like a cheating scumbag, and Mackenzie hasn't spoken to me since. If I try to engage her, I only get one-word answers. Things escalated when Mackenzie brought some friends over, and one of them jokingly referred to me as Trump. I thought it was meant to be funny, so I responded, "I wish I was that successful." They laughed and left for her room. When I turned to Molly, seeking guidance on how to address it, she just rolled her eyes and told me to let it go. The exchange continued. "What's the joke even? A 16-year-old girl called you Trump, and you thought it was a compliment. That's funny. I don't appreciate being made fun of. There's a lot we all don't appreciate, but have let go for your happiness. I think it's okay to let this go for hers." I dropped it, but I was fuming. I've made sacrifices for everyone in this family, and I feel like they don't see that. I vented to Ashley, hoping for support, but she just told me that Mackenzie had every right to be upset and went off on me. It's Sophie's birthday next week, and she wants a party. Have you ever noticed we never have parties for the kids? No one wants to come to the house with 2 wives. Mackenzie is embarrassed, and I'm embarrassed. I love you. I've always loved you, but our kids didn't choose this life. Cut them some slack. I can't help but feel like everyone is against me. I've done everything I can for my wives and children. I'm a good dad and a devoted husband, always sacrificing for our family. You think I wanted to spend my weekends taking them to the park or the zoo, or deal with the disdain from our families? I'm exhausted by the awkwardness, and I've worked 50 to 60-hour weeks to keep our lives running smoothly. I'm seeking advice on how to help my family understand everything I've done for them. How can I communicate my commitment and love in a way that helps mend these rifts? How can I rebuild the connection with Mackenzie and show her that I'm still the dad she can rely on, despite the complexities of our situation? Now on to the next story, story 2. My own friend convinced my husband that I cheated. He kicked me out, and now she finally admitted she lied. I don't even know where to begin because this situation has left me shattered. My best friend of over 10 years, someone I considered a sister, destroyed my life. We were both 25, and I trusted her with everything. But clearly, I meant nothing to her because she betrayed me in the worst way, just because I married the man she secretly wanted. This all started 8 years ago. My husband, 29M, and I, 25F, met in college. He was an assistant to one of our professors, and the 3 of us became really close friends. But after a while, he and I started dating. She never said a word about her feelings for him, so I never thought twice about it. Over the years, I shared everything with her, things about my relationship, my marriage, and most recently, the fact that I was pregnant. I even told her before I told my husband. I found out while I was with her because I trusted her that much. When the pregnancy test came back positive, we cried together. She seemed genuinely happy for me, which makes everything she did next that much harder to bear. Fast forward 6 months. My husband started acting distant and irritable for no reason I could figure out. He was always upset with me, And after weeks of this, I finally confronted him. That's when he dropped the bomb. He said he knew the truth, that I had been cheating on him. I was completely blindsided. He showed me chats from a dating app between me and another man, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had never even made an account on this app, but there were pictures of me. Photos I'd only saved on my phone, not posted anywhere. In these conversations, I supposedly admitted to cheating, even questioning if my pregnancy was my husband's or this other guy's. There were even details of supposed recent encounters. I told him immediately that it was all fake, that I had no idea where this came from. That's when he said my best friend told him everything. She claimed I had been confiding in her about my affairs, and even helped him find evidence on an old phone I no longer used. He searched through it, found these chats, and was convinced I was lying. I told him over and over that she was lying, that I would never cheat on him, but he didn't believe me. Desperate, we called her to confront her together. She stood by her story, calmly insisting that I had been unfaithful and she couldn't keep lying for me anymore. She didn't flinch. I couldn't convince my husband, not with all the proof in front of him. He was furious. He packed my things and told me to leave. I went to my mom's house and, per his demand, we did a paternity test. It proved he was the father, but he still didn't believe me. We fought more, and the stress got so bad I ended up in the hospital. That's when my so-called best friend finally confessed. She told my husband everything was fake. She had created both accounts, the one I supposedly used and the one the other man was using. She did it out of jealousy, because ever since I got pregnant, my husband wasn't paying her as much attention as before. She admitted she acted out of spite, thinking he'd be mad for a few days but forgive me because he loved me too much to stay angry. Since her confession, my husband has apologized countless times. We've talked about everything, and we've decided to take some space and start therapy, but I don't know if that will be enough. Our relationship feels so damaged. During one of our fights, things got physical. He grabbed my arm to force me to pack, and I pushed him away, which led to more aggressive behavior. This was not who we used to be. We rarely fought before, and it never escalated like this. How do we fix this? Therapy is one step, but I'm scared it won't be enough. Our bond feels broken, and I'm terrified we'll never be the same again. Thank you for your support. Things are getting better. I want to express my gratitude for all the messages and comments I received on my first post. Your support meant a lot to me. I'm relieved to say that things have improved significantly since then. I confronted my now ex-friend, and she admitted to using my old phone to create that fake profile and to message the other man, who, as it turns out, never existed. It was her all along. She took advantage of the fact that I kept that phone at home, knowing it wasn't used, and she had everything planned out. It's honestly terrifying to think about. She clearly needs help because her behavior shows signs of being a psychopath. She confessed to all the lies she told. She even claimed that she drove me to meet this so-called man multiple times and made me pay for hotel stays using her card. The truth is, I was never in any of those hotels. The details looked so real that I understand why my husband believed her. If our roles were reversed, I might have believed it too. As for my husband and me, we're still trying to navigate through this mess. After that violent incident, things became very difficult between us. It's not easy to mend a marriage after violence, but we're committed to making it work. I moved back home, and for now, things are okay, but the memories linger. Sometimes when it's warm, I wear short sleeves, and he can't even look at me because my arms still bear the bruises from his grip. They're fading, but as someone with sensitive, pale skin, I know they'll take time to disappear. Thankfully, they don't hurt anymore. He's apologized for his actions, and I've forgiven him because I recognize that we both contributed to the breakdown of our relationship. We both acted out, and we're committed to rebuilding what we had. It's a slow process, and we know it won't be easy, but we're determined to work hard, especially with our baby arriving in just a few weeks. We've started both individual and couples therapy to help us along the way. Right now, we're focused on preparing the baby's room and gathering what we need. This shared purpose has been helping us reconnect, and I'm genuinely happy to see our relationship slowly returning to how it used to be. After 8 years of love, the last thing I wanted was to throw everything away over this. We both agreed that this was a wake-up call, and we promised it won't happen again. We're doing everything we can to make sure of it. That's the latest from